Doc O'Leary here, head golf nut at docsgolftips.com. Let's talk about fixing the #1 swing illusion that cripples 99% of all golfers. What you'll discover is really the missing link to achieving that near perfect golf swing. It all boils down to a simple adjustment in where your hands are during impact. Sounds weird, but it's something the pros call educated hands. And it's just not that hard to get this right. Your pro instructor for this lesson is the respected insider, Bill McKinney. Take it away, Bill.
Thanks, Doc. I'd like to talk to you now about one of my favorite subjects. The subject is faulty hands, the thing that ruins most golfers and no one ever talks about. You know, it's not just the muscular effort people use to throw their hands at it, it's just conceptual ideas about what the hands are supposed to do, about the way the wrists are supposed to be when you hit it, or going from here to here, or at any point in the golf swing. People are undereducated about this, and I'm here to help you understand that and get a head start ahead of your buddies. Now, we've got this one ball on the tee very high, and a common sense person might think, well, that's how you play golf. You got to go under it and flick it up into the air. We've seen beginners do that. We know you're not a beginner, but we've seen that before. And actually, I rolled that ball, and I could have hit it fat, and I could have, because my swing bottom was way back here. Now, this tee here is a little bit lower, not quite against the ground, but I've got my 9-iron, and if I do this properly, I would still take a divot. Just a little bit of grass here, even though that tee was teed up about a good 1/4 inch. I've still scraped some grass. Then of course I've got one on the ground here now, so my first conception is, again, if I'm a beginner, I want to kind of think to scoop it up or pick it up, but really you've got to let your educated hands, the hands that are patient, they're like sheepdogs, they're like the generals telling everyone where to go. They tell my body where to go, how to move. So I would drag it around with my heavy pivot. That was pretty good. And you can see there I've got a divot. Now I've done one more thing here. I've drawn a little scratch in the grass, and that can represent my swing bottom. If I can get this right, and I'm going to put that just right in the middle of my stance right now. If I can get this right, I've got to do about 4 or 5 things with my hands properly. Well, my body's got to carry my hands to do this right. I know that I don't want to hit this side of the line, the back side. I want to hit the front side of the line. So it's right in the middle, load up, store it, hit past it. You saw where I was, like I bottomed out on this side of the line if my line's right there. Okay, and I could put this tee so you can see it. And if you watch closely down there, you'll see that I always hit past that tee, past the line. That's where divot belongs naturally. I'm always surprised at how few golfers, people have been playing golf for a long time, and how few golfers even know that. They go, oh, the divot's supposed to be on that side? No wonder I never get that good shot. Shocks me. Okay, so if I do this properly, one of the things I've got to do is be patient enough not to throw my club head away. If I do that, I can certainly hit the earth. I've got to have a little bit of lag. I've got to wait with my hands. Okay, so in a way, they're just holding on. They're like, well, strong but soft clamps on that club. And I pull it and I aim my hands quite a bit over here, and you might be surprised at first when you try this. You'll think you're going to just aim back there and you'll still hit some back in here. So aim even more forward. This is a big illusion, a mental illusion. So I'm doing this. So let's talk about how my wrists are arranged there. My front wrist is flat. The arrangement from the back of my wrist is flat as opposed to bent, but my right wrist is bent, of course. So when I hit this way, my right wrist is bent. My left wrist is flat. It looks like that. Over here, it gets released and it carries up. I mean, if I do it like some of the Hall of Famers, I can keep it a little longer, but you probably won't have as strong a pivot as, say, a Ben Hogan, so you'll probably end up letting it go, but we want to let it go, release it after impact. That's one of the tricks. Okay, let's do a few drills that will help you educate your hands. We're going to start off with the 3-ball drill. I've got these balls separated 3 inches apart. Now I'm going to line up my normal setup to the middle ball, but I can reach this outside ball and I can reach the inside ball, and that's part of the trick. One thing is, it's worth knowing that some players in the Hall of Fame stand nearer or farther to the ball, and you might be able to figure out what is exactly best for you. But this again is a drill, so you can help find the ball wherever it is. Okay, I'll start with the most inside ball. I'm pretty close to this ball. That was about perfect. Without moving my feet, I'm just going to go back down to it, the original ball, my middle ball. Yeah, this is my normal setup anyway. Pretty much right next to the other ball. Look, again, no steps. kind of reaching for this ball, like some good players. That's not too bad either. Okay. So, you know, wherever you get on the golf course, you realize you can find a way to get your hands on it, your hands, your club head, all that. It's not just hand powered, it's pivot and all this. So let's do another drill really quickly here, like a one-hand drill. Again, talking about wrist conditions, the condition of being flat, the condition of being bent, bowed, cocked or uncocked, turned and rolled. Okay, so you can replay those again if you got confused, but it doesn't really matter. The trick is, when we hit this ball, we'd like to have a flat wrist. When we make it to follow through right about here, again, this isn't your follow through, this is your finish. This is your follow through. You make it into follow through, we'd like to still have a flat left wrist, folks, not a bent one, okay? Because if you're bending your wrist through the ball, you're probably gonna have some trouble controlling your direction especially. Okay, normal setup. Now I'm gonna do just like I would have a normal pitch, except for I'm gonna put my right hand, my good right hand as a right-hander, behind my back, and I'm gonna do a pitch. Not too shabby, right down the middle. I'm pretty quite sure I kept my wrist flat there. You could do several of those. I'm gonna tell you there's been nothing that's cleaned up my short game around the green more than doing that particular exercise right there. And this one too, like so again, normal setup, get mutter of my left hand and do it with my right. Okay, pretty darn good. I wanna feel like, I'm gonna try to take that one to a more 1/3 finish. Normal setup, here, 1/3. Much better. Okay, so the one-handed drills, and they look just like my regular one, hopefully. You shouldn't be able to tell the difference than all of those. Now, one of the most useful exercises we ever do is something called the power pitch. A power pitch is just really practicing your impact zone, your area from your release point to your follow through. So it's a tiny little thing, really. But that pitch right there with my 9-iron went about 70 yards, you could see. So power pitching makes its way up into punch shots. You can see where I am here at the follow through. Still got a nice line with that, with my left wrist. And we end up taking that feel all the way up into a finish of a big shot. So in a way, you feel like you're just pitching your way through the course, but with giant pitches. I'm gonna go back and do one more power pitch. Power pitches. Not too shabby. Right down the middle, about 85 yards with my 9-iron. So compression, you learn compression, you learn how to have your body properly arranged over it, you learn how to have the all valuable, educated hands. I'm just going to throw one more little thing in you here. The biggest illusion is that your hands, you think they should be like here in front of your eyes. And the truth is, because you're turned and your head's tilted back, your eyes are looking at your hands this way, so it's quite a bit more forward than you think. Some of the greatest ball strikers in history have more forward hands than the rest of them. And for you to do this, I'm going to say there's a very good chance you don't have great hands to the ball. We want to get your hands more forward. Think about de-lofting your club. So I've got my 9, I'm going to try to turn it into like a 7. So every 4 degrees is a new club. I'm going to take that 8 degrees over, so I've turned it into a 7-iron. The next time you go out and hit balls or play, try to think like you got trees in front of you when you hit it under there. That'll put your wrist in the right conditions. Okay, educated hands. Again, I'm Bill McKinney, PGA golf professional. This will help you a whole bunch. Educate your hands, folks.
Hope you enjoyed the videos. Now get out to the course and apply some of these principles. You'll notice a big difference in your power, accuracy, and consistency. Your golf pals won't know what hit them. This is where golf gets fun. But it's not the end of your free tips. No way. I've got plenty more coming your way to continually improve your game. So keep your eyes open. They'll be landing in your inbox soon. This is Doc O'Leary, head golf nut at docsgolftips.com and OHP Direct. Until next time, happy golfing.